Hello, good evening, everyone. We're starting the Unplugged live session. I'm just waiting for Sergio and Gabriel to join me. Welcome back to another Monday Unplugged Live. Okay, 1 minute and they'll be here. Hello, Sergio.
Good
How are you?
evening. Everything's fine here.
Oh,
How's Lisbon
perfect.
doing?
Well, all good. Let me just get Gabriel over here.
Yeah, let's just hope that the earthquake didn't ruin the Wi-Fi in the Algarve.
Yeah, well, I don't know what's going on with Gabriel, but let me try to get it over here. Well, we're having some issues with Gabriel to join us. Let's hope that he manages to join the live. Well, meanwhile, hot topic of the day, the earthquake that almost everybody felt except me because I was sleeping so well that I just got the news when I woke up.
Yeah.
But
And you're based in Lisbon, closer to the earthquake than I am.
Exactly.
And fortunately or unfortunately for me, I don't know how to put it, but I also felt it at 5 a.m. in the morning. That's what happens when you're a very light sleeper due to a 5-month-old baby right now. So yeah, my wife and I, we have him.
Gabriel.
Hi everyone.
Sorry, I interrupted
Good
you,
evening.
Sergio.
No worries. So yeah, the baby was not keeping us up, but he's giving us some very light nights. So as soon as the earth started to shake a little bit, so did our bed, and we woke up a little bit. There was a bit of a rattling noise from the doors of the closets, but it was for sure an interesting experience. And then we went back to sleep. Yeah, so what about you, Gabriel? Did you feel anything down in the Algarve?
Yes, yeah. Well, this is not something new here in the Algarve. Last year I felt three. Sometimes I share with my guests. The longest one, it was the one in Marrakesh about a year ago. About 50 seconds. It was like 11:10 p.m. So I was scrolling in my bed and I start shaking. And this morning at dawn, even before dawn, I was not sleeping, because we have cycles, right? It was not a deep. So then I felt my bed shaking a bit, and very fast I realized, well, is this another small quake? And then I feel a bit more, and then slow down, and then I felt a bit more, and then I thought, well, I'm gonna just keep sleeping because maybe this is just nothing. But then, out of curiosity, I turned on my smartphone, I clicked IPMA, the earthquake center in Portugal, and the website, it was down. So, okay, so something happened here. And then the rest is history, well, there's no need for I think there's a big hype around this, but this was a bit stronger than usual, but this is quite normal. But of course, it's a reminder, nature is in command, and we always have to be aware about this, and we have to take, I don't know, the measures to avoid something, But I think we all are a bit aware about this, and well, let's keep moving forward.
From what I've read, this was actually the strongest earthquake felt over here in
Since
Portugal.
69.
69, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
Well, especially of course close to Lisbon, Sintra and Sines, for sure. If I felt here in Albufeira, for sure in Sesimbra it was stronger.
Yeah, but we had reports from all over the country. Again, I'm in Porto and a little over 300, almost 400 kilometers away from it. And we could feel it if we were at rest at home. And the furniture also felt it over here, that's for sure.
Yes. Even in Andalusia in Spain, it was felt. I can see Vitor Pais. Vitor Pais, I saw the Vitor Pais, he posted because he lives in Sesimbra, and I think the guy went through the out of the bed or something like that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure in Sesimbra it was really stronger. Well, but we are tough, right? Yeah. Well,
Well,
Oh, we are very resilient.
we are here. We keep going. But well, first of all, we just started chatting about the earthquake. As well, you already know, and thank you for watching. All that are joining us. So once again, it's me, Leonel Rodrigues, here near Lisbon, desirable Portugal. Gabriel Lima from the Algarve from GL Tours, and Sergio Costa from Portugal EV Tours. So as usual, we are here, and we wanted to discuss some topics about planning your trips and planning your journeys. But in fact, this recent news about the earthquake already triggered some some topics, some posts that I've read on some Facebook groups about people already afraid and kind of asking if they should cancel their vacation because they are planned to come in a few days or such. Okay, let me start with this. We would love to be able to predict this kind of things, and I've been telling my guests and the specialists have been telling us that something major could be happening or could happen in the near future. What happened a year ago in Morocco was very hard, and we felt it in here, and unfortunately for them was really hard. What we felt, or what you felt, I didn't feel it because I was sleeping quite well. But what we had today in here was quite hard as well. But of course, these are unforeseen circumstances. Okay, if we start or if we get afraid about something to happen, and we start canceling our vacation because there was just an earthquake. Luckily, no damage, no casualties, nothing. I just read about one or another wall who fell, and but they were already with some structural issues. But this is the kind of things that unfortunately we can't predict, we can't plan about. So getting a little bit in panic about these events and rethinking all the vacation or trying to replan the vacation or cancel the vacation, I don't think that that should be the way to go. Okay, but let me go this way. Of course, a lot of people think on their vacation and they plan a lot. And sometimes these are the kind of things that can really change your plans, okay? And when I say change your plans, there's always these unforeseen circumstances that can lead to, imagine, an airport gets delays, the railway gets disrupted for some reason, this or that service that you are planning to, for this or for other reason. In Portugal, it happens mostly more with strikes and not with earthquakes. They are even more harmful than the earthquakes itself. This leads me always to something that I've been telling a lot. People plan the vacations right at the minute. People plan the vacations without margin of error. People plan the vacations without a little bit of extra cushion, a little bit of extra time for unforeseen circumstances. And I totally understand that when people plan their journeys, their itineraries, they want to see the most possible. Of course, there's a lot of there's a big cost involved, and the airfares and such, they are getting quite expensive nowadays. But you need always to have a little bit of spare time for the unforeseen circumstances. And those unforeseen circumstances sometimes are not because something bad happened. They can be something like this. You found something that you really loved and you want to stay longer. You found something that you really enjoyed or that you didn't know about and you just found it by coincidence, and you need more time for that, okay? So while planning vacations, always use some spare time, because with my experience and with all the plannings I've been doing, even for myself and sometimes for some itineraries, it ends up being a little bit more time consuming, or there's always something extra that we need to do or to add more. And if we are just running on the minute or running just on a very tight schedule, it will be rushed and you won't enjoy it so much. So always plan extra time for this kind of issues, or really special moments that weren't planned. It's my first advice this way. Okay. Um, I don't know about you, but Gabriel, you with the earthquake, you might have something to relate as well. It's take it or leave it. It's a hot topic over the day. So,
Yeah,
share your
let's
thoughts with
talk.
us.
Yeah. Well, it's the topic of the day, so let's talk a bit about this. Like I can see, Shonda, she said something like "still coming." Of course, still coming. Everything will come, good and bad. But maybe before the next big earthquake, like we had in 1755, we're gonna have a very good life. My daughter, she's gonna have a very good life. So I mean, of course, we have to be aware about these things, but we can't lose the focus in trying to have to live our life. I mean, when we take a plane, when we take the train, when I drive every single day, I don't know if I'm gonna survive by the end of the day. But okay, but like any other humans, we are resilient and we don't think every single second about this. Otherwise, what? I mean, so we are humans. Ultimately, one day we all gone, right? So let's not think about this. Even the Earth, at some point, the sun will start growing, and then it's going to explode. I mean, let's not think about this. It's still coming, but not tonight and not for tomorrow. And let me talk about something. Yeah, life is indeed an adventure. Okay, 2 days ago, a Spanish lady, unfortunately, she died in Madeira because she went for some, the lavadas. I don't know the translation, but it's these very hikings at the very steep mountains,
The hike,
and
the hike
then
trail. It's the easiest
a
way to
hiking.
call that. It's a hike trail. Okay.
Yes, but this one it was not even within the popular network of trails. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so they just venture out for some off the beaten path, and unfortunately, some stone, a big rock, hit the girl, and she gone. Yesterday afternoon in Alvor, French lady, 20, 21 years old. She was walking very close to the cliffs. Trust me, every single day I go on tour to visit Ponta da Piedade, my heart almost stops because what I see, people so close to the edge. The same goes for Marina Beach. The same goes for Benagil or Cape St. Vincent. A few years ago, a Polish couple, they fell from the cliffs in a roca.
Cabo da Roca. Yeah,
Cabo da
I remember
Roca.
that. I remember that.
Yes. So, okay. So sometimes these things happen, and there was no earthquake. But I mean, we have to be aware about these things. Many times things goes wrong uh, because we don't take the best actions, and we all are not judging because we all do some dumb things here and there. Okay, but sometimes other things we cannot control. I think we shouldn't be so anxious about it. Of course, we're not going to think about canceling a tour. Let's not cancel a trip to Portugal because we are on the news, a very hyped news about some very small earthquake. These things happens quite often, especially here in the Algarve. Last year I felt three small ones. I mean, the Marrakesh one, it was small here, but of course it was very big there in Marrakesh in Morocco. But here's the thing, we have to be aware about the dangers, and in a daily basis, it's way better if we avoid to go to very close to the edge of the cliffs. And like I see now, August, the beaches, they are crowded everywhere in the Algarve, and I see hundreds, if not thousands of people that go under the cliffs to get some shade or something. And then sometimes there's some big warnings there. Even within the Benagil cave, now it's forbidden to disembark on the beach. Why? It's not because there's lots of people. No, there's big signs there saying danger of rockfall. This happens. This is nature. So we have to be aware about this. But we should not. We can stop living just because maybe something goes wrong. Otherwise, how would you come to Portugal? You have to take a plane, right? So we have to take risks in life. So just keep coming. And well, the topic you told Lionel, because today, well, we are talking about at least two topics about planning. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. We have to be aware about the time sometimes we spend when we travel. I'm a travel too, and we can't just think we're gonna see this place in 1 hour, that place in 2 hours, because we're gonna get the train at 4 p.m. because we're gonna just spend 30 minutes having a lunch. No, we need to. I think we need to give way more time to ourselves, because like you said, sometimes it happens. It happens during, for instance, our tours. People, they go to a place and they would like to stay more time in one place, and then sometimes I have to say, okay, we can stay more time here, but then we have to skip something else, because if you want to see, if you want to spend more time here, if you want to spend more time there, maybe you have to book two tours instead of one. So it's all about planning. I mean, we live in a world where we try to control everything, and sometimes we don't control ourselves. I speak for myself too, So I think sometimes we just have to sit a bit, try to do a good plan, like we say so many times, less is more, and try to enjoy more and not feeling so much stress. When we go on vacation, the point is not to get more stress; it's to get more relaxed. Lionel, I think it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
With your guests, with your what you see there in North Portugal too. I'm pretty sure people they want to see 10 vineyards in just one day. I'm sure about that.
Yeah, Sergio can relate with that for sure.
No. This it's really resounding with me, because sometimes I have people who ask me to do 4 or 5, as many vineyards as possible. I just want to see as much as possible on a single day. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. As you said, less is more, and doing less vineyards gives us more time to enjoy each vineyard and everything that they have to offer. And I like to stick to a very padded and cushioned itinerary, because by contrast, one of the places that I go to, I very frequently come across tour guides from another company, and they usually arrive over there already a little bit late for lunch. And then they tell the staff, well, I need to be out of here in 1 hour or less. And I mean, you're giving your customers 1 hour to have lunch at a place that has a fantastic gastronomic experience, just because you were late, because you were not able to just pad your give enough wiggle room to your schedule, and you want to promote 4 vineyards, 5 vineyards. Hey, it's up to you. But what I've seen happen is that more often than not, those guys are on their second winery, they're already behind schedule, and they have 4 more to go or 3 more to go for the rest of the day. That's not a very pleasant experience for my customer, for the customer in general, but that's just my opinion. There's people who like to be rushed and herded through several different locations. That's perfectly fine. That's not my philosophy. And from what you just heard over here, it's definitely not the philosophy of what we're promoting over here in Portugal Unplugged. So yeah. And then going back to the hot topic of the earthquake, go ahead, Lionel, sorry.
No, I was just saying, I'm going to give a very, very simple example with the wineries, okay? Most people like to go to a winery and want to buy wine. And in plenty of, or in many situations, they end up buying wine and ask it to be shipped, okay? Because they are carry-ons or whatever. Just the time that it takes sometimes to fill up the forms, and then of course if you have a few people or you are in a place that has a couple of groups attending the winery or such, just the time that takes to choose the wine, fill up the forms, process the payment, all that kind of stuff, okay, that is quite time consuming. How is it possible to visit several wineries in one day if you have this situation that ends up to consume your time, and then you'll be just running around? Well, as you already said, and I share the exactly same opinion. this is not a quality experience. Okay, I'm not going to push people just out of the door, not literally, to say, sorry guys, we need to move because there's another appointment. But this is why I normally, if I do wine tours, I'll visit 1 or 2 wineries max, because it doesn't make sense just to be running against the clock. But yeah, it makes total sense, and it goes with what I was saying about having the cushion of time. But please go ahead, Sergio. You're going back to the hot topic of the day.
So yeah, the earthquake and living life is basically an adventure, and basically all life is living life and going through life. In my opinion, is kind of like a calculated risk. I mean, you're gonna decide: are you going to take the car? Are you going to take the public transportation? Are you going to fly? Are you going to take the train? I mean, the earthquake happened. Gabriel said he felt 3 earthquakes in the Algarve last year. My experience over here in the north of the country, I feel one maybe every 5 years. So it's a huge difference. Um, you're probably more likely to be run over by crossing the street at your home country than you are in another country, than coming over here to another country, getting hit by an earthquake. And to be honest, I always remember uh, a story about probabilities and odds and whatnot. If I know that there is one person in a plane that already survived the plane crash, I want to be in the next plane with that person, because I know that the odds of that person going through 2 plane crashes are going to be basically non-existent. It's like winning the Powerball or the Euro Milhões over here. So it's slim to none chance that that person is going to be on a second plane crash. So I want to be on that plane, to be honest. So yeah, but this goes to show, should you cancel vacations? So yeah, should you reschedule? I don't think so, just because of an earthquake. I mean, this is not like Fukushima in 2011 or the Southeast Asia or anything like that. The country is not in shambles. Maybe a few glasses fell down a shelf, but that was pretty much it.
Yeah. The news about the wall I was mentioning earlier, okay, and I just crossed with that article somewhere. The wall fell because it seems like it's right at the border of 2 municipalities, so in between Sintra and Amadora, and supposedly no one wanted to take care of the wall because they keep pushing who should fix the wall. So the wall ended up falling, and
the
it
wall
seems that
was about to fall anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So it seems like now there's a house in risk, but the typical case of pushing to the neighbor who should take care of it. And that was the only thing that I've read on the news that unfortunately happened. Life goes on, and we are here to enjoy every day and to keep moving.
Exactly. So as far as travel planning, my biggest recommendations, and just to put it very simply, this is what I've been telling people throughout these years. There are 3 major things that you should be concerned about. First, how you're going to get here, how are you going to get to your destinations, where are you going to stay during your vacation, and then what are you going to do while you're staying at those locations. So, for example, when coming to Portugal, are you taking the plane and flying into Lisbon? Are you flying into Porto? Are you flying into Faro, for example? Then how are you going to distribute your itinerary? Do you have 1 week? Do you have 2 weeks? Are you going to do 2 locations? Are you going to do 3 locations? How are you going to move between those locations? Where are you going to stay at those locations? Is it more convenient to stay at the hotel? Is it more convenient to stay at an Airbnb? What does make more sense for you? And then finally, and last but not least, I would say, what are you going to do when you're at those locations? Are you going to explore by yourselves? Are you going to explore some restaurants? Do you want to hire some tours? It's entirely up to you. But I would say that these 3 things, how you're going to get here and how you're going to move around, where are you going to stay and what are you going to do, are the 3 things that are the most important for your holidays. And then from there, you basically just branch out all of your options. And I would actually put them in equal footing, because one thing that has been happening, I don't know if it's the same with you guys over here, but I've been talking with plenty of other guides in the Douro Valley, and they're all very unanimous right now. September, it's pretty much full because September it's the traditional harvest month, and it's the peak season for us over here. My September is pretty much fully booked, and I've been turning down people as of late, precisely because I'm already fully booked. So if you're planning on hiring tours, you should consider doing that. And sometimes, if you're coming at the peak season for the region, you should consider doing that even before booking your trips. I've already started to have requests for people asking me about availability for next year already. So that's a very good and encouraging sign, I would say. So yeah, book your plane tickets, book your hotels, book your tours. If you have all these three things, you're pretty much 80% set. And then don't forget to leave an extra day or two just to wander around and to explore what Portugal has to offer. You're going to have very valuable tips from the people that you meet, and probably you want to explore those places and just dive a little bit deeper into the culture on your own by utilizing the tips from the locals during your free days. If you have everything planned by the minute, you're not going to have time to explore those hidden gems that locals will tell you about only once you arrive over here. So that's my two
Oh,
cents on it.
and
Planning your trip, it's relatively easy. It shouldn't be stressful.
and you just mentioned something. Sorry to break your thought. You just mentioned something. The Douro Valley, September, it's packed. The Douro Valley, it's
Mhm.
peak season. Everybody wants to go to Douro Valley. Well, hands down, the landscape. No wonder it's UNESCO World Heritage. It's an amazing landscape. But there is a mistake that I've seen repeated over and over and over. It is not the only wine region in Portugal. It is not the only place where you can go
Oh
for
yeah.
grape stomping or grape harvesting. And I remember, well, some very good friends that I took to a grape harvesting experience last year, and he just loved it. Okay, yes, he went to the vineyard with the locals that were harvesting the grapes, with some scissors, a plastic basket, and here we go to harvest some grapes. I already got the emails from those wineries with the harvest experience, because as they are not so I would say popular, trendy, or busy with experiences every day. They have specific days where they are going to do that open to public. So this really means that some people might get a more closer to the local feel experience. But yes, the wine produces country north to south. So if Gabriel wants to take someone for a winery or a vineyard in the Algarve, he can, because there are
Oh
vineyards,
yes.
there are great wineries in the Algarve.
And
Um,
some they are promoting the stamping. They are.
exactly. So,
I got an email from Cabrita Wines, very close to Silvas.
mhm.
They are quite active. Sometimes they have even events, musical events with jazz, whatever. And now for September, I got this from Quinta do Paraíso. Quinta do Paraíso, close to Silvas, but also from Cabrita Wine, and they are promoting this event. So they're gonna have a few days where they're gonna do this. So
And,
if so then we can promote with our guests. So do you wanna go to a vineyard and you wanna participate in this activity? So let's go. Let's do this.
and
So it's a
this goes a little bit. Sorry, Gabriel. This goes a little
no.
bit with what we've been talking about, spreading the load into different areas. I love the Douro Valley. I will be there in a few weeks. Again, I was there some weeks ago. I love the Douro Valley, and of course, as I keep saying, hands down, it's one of the prettiest landscapes we have regarding vineyards. But sometimes, if it's so busy, so packed, or
Yeah.
some of the estates are hard to book or whatever, there's other things. Okay, and in the Douro Valley, you come south, you have the down region. You go north, you have the Vinho Verde region. you're not gonna be less of a person if you don't go to that winery, because probably just, well, half an hour away or north or south, you will have another great winery. Okay, so sometimes it's just the need to, well, check what are the other options. And it's also part of the planning. If your, well, original goal cannot be fulfilled, don't feel frustrated with it. Okay, if you cannot book this or that experience, well, there might be a few others. Okay,
For
that
sure.
might
Yeah.
really be on the same level. So this is one of the, well, one of the things that, in fact, I see some people going, well, a little bit beyond reasonable because they could not get this or that. Well, there's a lot more to see. So.
And
There's
the thing
definitely
is,
alternatives, and I can tell you that immediately it comes to mind. There is one wine region that starts the harvest when the Douro Valley is already halfway through their harvest. And if you're not coming in September, there's a very good chance that at that other wine region, you're going to have the harvest experience all throughout October. Just saying. And on
Yeah.
top of that,
yeah.
when I say this, you guys are going to immediately relate which wine region it is. It's the region with the best cheese in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's definitely some very good wine, and the best cheese in the country is there. So if you're not coming in September, if you're coming in October, you're still going to be able to witness and sometimes even participate in the harvest itself, and then doing one of those fantastic wine and cheese pairings that we Portuguese are known for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we really touched very good points, guys. Just to finish here with my participation too. Very good points. I mean, there are options, and sometimes we have to think about this. When a place becomes too popular, and I mean too popular because this happens. Maybe if you go because you want to go to this specific winery or restaurant or whatever, maybe when you get there, it's so overcrowded, it's no longer familiar. The staff, maybe they can't even give you the attention you deserve, and then you're going to feel maybe a bit frustrated. This could happen too. So there are many reasons to plan, but to let time and the chance to adjust. Like you said, Linnell, very well said. You know, sometimes people come, they meet the locals, and then they realize, okay, oh, but we can we do this? Yeah, but I didn't know about it. Of course, so it's a good idea to give some time to explore these things. We are not, let's say, we are not popping up all the time, and sometimes those are the most
The best one.
memorable experiences. Yeah,
I
exactly.
I,
Plan
I usually
B.
say this.
Yeah.
I usually say this. If someone is proposing to you to visit a place that you never heard about, probably it's because it's the real deal. If you heard
Yeah.
about that place everywhere, well, you're not the only one
But
hearing
you know,
about that
Lionel,
spot. Okay, thousands
this
of
is
people
funny.
heard about it.
But I'm going to be the ambassador of the people who really want to follow this, because I had a lovely family last Friday and they told me, Gabriel, we understand what you are saying, but yeah, when we travel to a country, maybe we're going to have just 3 days in the Algarve, so we want to do this, this, and this, and then we don't have time for much more. So I mean, but all comes to the same, you know, it's about planning, it's about what you want to do, because some people, they just want to follow, they have 2 days and they just want to do this and this. Okay, it's fine. I'm not going to say to not do the way you want to do. I mean, if you want to cover 10 places in 10 days, you know, we are just sharing with people what we feel and based in our experience. So I see people way more happy when by the end of the day we went to some place they fell in love, and they felt very exclusive, like, Jesus, this is really a nice place, Gabriel. I don't even know why this is not so popular at all. But then it's another topic. One day we have to
Yeah,
talk
of
about
course.
this too, because of course it's the thing. There are many popular spots in Portugal, in India, in France, whatever. But Jesus Christ, everywhere in the world, I'm pretty sure there are way more places. So let's try to uncover a bit more those places. We are here to help.
Yeah. Well done,
Yep.
time just flies.
Yeah, that's it.
And
Jesus.
yeah, I'm gonna drop here some last recommendations. We spoke a little bit about earthquake and such, but I'm gonna go back to the planning. And I've been insisting into this. Okay, when people try to fly in one place and out of another place, or even if they fly in and out from the same place, use the first day of arrival to travel, if possible, to the furthermost possible. Okay, if if you come to Lisbon and you're flying out of Lisbon, leave Lisbon to visit, to do the tours around Lisbon as your last leg, because meanwhile you already went the furthermost, and then you will be already at your exit city, I would say. So the place you'll fly out, because I see a lot of people getting frustrated with this kind of issues. They have a flight, they come running, rushing to the airport to return a rental car, or they come by train or whatever. And then the last day to fly out, it will be rushed, stressful, and sometimes they cannot make it. Sometimes they cannot make it because they got there too late. Okay. So this is always my point when planning a vacation. Leave your time near your the place you're
Last
flying
day,
out,
the last day close to
or
the airport.
the last of the last days. Okay, you don't need to
Yeah,
go to sleep near the airport. Okay,
Yeah.
if you plan 3 or 4 days in Lisbon, then you fly out of Lisbon, leave those days to the end. Don't think on coming into Lisbon and oh, my plane arrives at 10 and I'm gonna book a tour for 1 p.m. Well, I've already been picking up people at the airport which plane arrived 3-4 hours late, so they are starting immediately the vacation with something going wrong. Okay, so leave always your time flying out, or the place where you fly out for the last leg of your trip. That is my recommendation. And
I agree.
well,
Time to say goodbye.
once again, well, 30 minutes just flew by. We're more than 30 minutes. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll be back here on the next weeks. And, well, if you have something else to add, something else to ask, feel free to drop it in your comment on the comment section. And, well, thank you for watching. See you next week.
Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. See you next week. Have a great week.
See ya.